Hey guys, it's me, Bruno. Today I'm going to be answering your questions about college. And for those of you who don't know my background story, I transferred from the University of Michigan, which is a regular university type of school, to FIT, which is Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City, and that's a fashion school. So I went from one type of school to a completely different type of school. So that's why I decided to do this video. At FIT are definitely a lot more fashionable than people at Michigan. People at Michigan would just wear jeans or sweats and a v-neck or t-shirt or sweatshirt or something pretty much every day. Kind of the classic Michigan look was leggings, especially black leggings, a black long North Face, and Uggs. But at FIT, people don't really wear that. They wear just more unique clothing, and that's kind of a generalization though, because there are still definitely people who do wear sweats. There are also some people who dress really crazy. I would say most people dress kind of like me and my sister, don't forget it. They require you to basically take the general academics about a semester, plus art history, if you're an art major at least. I don't know about the business side. So right now I'm taking art history, I'm taking one of the two art histories, and statistics, which is obviously a math class. To get into FIT, you pretty much need what you need at any other school, which are decent grades, and it's not too bad with FIT. You don't need great grades, just kind of good enough. You need a good portfolio if you're doing the art side of FIT, anything to do with design, and if you're doing anything on the business side, you don't even need a portfolio, so you don't have to worry about that. But the portfolio definitely plays a really big role in getting into FIT. For fashion design, that's a really intense portfolio. They require you to make clothes, draw clothes, pretty much everything. So if you're thinking about doing fashion design at FIT, I would start as soon as possible learning how to sew and everything if you don't know how. For accessories, they only require you to draw, I think, maybe 10 sketches, and that was it. It was a really easy portfolio, so it definitely depends on your major. Another thing that really helps you get into FIT is if you have access, I would definitely recommend taking the Saturday Live classes for high school students, or the summer program, which is basically the same thing, where you can take the classes at FIT and it doesn't count for credit or anything. It's just kind of a fun thing to do. It helps you build your portfolio, and you get to try out whatever you're interested in. You get to know what the teachers are like, what the school is like, and so coming into FIT, I really had a great idea of what it was going to be like. I basically feel like I'm at Saturday Live classes every day, which is great because it feels like the weekend every day. I love FIT. The person who asked me this question heard mixed reviews on it. The thing is, you really have to love what you're doing, because that's a lot of what you're going to be doing at FIT, is whatever your major is. And it's not as social as a regular school. People sometimes go home on the weekends. There are just not as many parties and just kind of social college activities. So, you know, you are going to be concentrating on your work a lot, and that's not saying that you won't have friends or anything like that. It's just, it's obviously just not the same as a regular college. That's not what it's about. It's really about whatever your major is, fashion. The teachers here are really great. They all work in the industry and they're really experienced. Being in the city, I have access to everything. I can go and I can pick up fabric, and I can go shopping, and I can do whatever I want. I have complete freedom because I don't have to drive anywhere or worry about really anything. I can just go anywhere, anytime, which is, to me, amazing. I love that. It is hard to know which college is right for you. Not everyone gets it the first time. I didn't get it right the first time. I had to transfer. You can always transfer. That's the good thing about college, is if you don't like it, it's never really too late. The way you know that it's right for you, I guess, is just whatever feels right. And I know that even when I went to Michigan, it was honestly my dad who was really pulling for it, and he was telling me how great it was, and it should have been me really feeling like it was going to be great. I went there because they had long summers, they were a regular school, which is what everyone told me I wanted, things like that. And in the back of my mind, I mean, I wasn't even looking forward to starting Michigan, to be honest. And I definitely made a mistake. You want to really be excited about school, and at the time there wasn't a single school that I had applied to, and I got into all of my schools too, so that wasn't the problem, but I didn't love any of them, even though I did apply to FIT. But at the time, I just thought it was bad to be so close to home. And it was bad to go to a school that was not a regular college. But in the end, I think that I should have just listened to myself and not what everyone else was telling me. I knew that FIT was right for me when I knew that Michigan was wrong for me, because it's basically the complete opposite in every single way. And I realized that college wasn't just about being social, and for me at Michigan, that's all it was. And I really wanted to get started on fashion, and I knew that if I wanted to do fashion, FIT was really one of the few places. In terms of the whole FIT versus Parsons, I decided to go to FIT because for me it's a lot less expensive since I'm able to get the New York rate, and in general it just is a lot less expensive, and they have the same teachers and everything. Also, I've talked to a lot of people at Parsons who just aren't happy, and I don't know if that's just because they feel like they're paying a lot more or if it really is because the school is worse. And I don't know if it was just maybe a coincidence, but even my tour guide wasn't happy there, so that's what kind of made me know that FIT was the right place for me. Plus, my mom went here, she took some classes. She didn't graduate or anything, she just kind of tried out some classes, and she loved it, and I took the Saturday Live classes and I loved it. So I felt very comfortable here, and I just knew this would be the perfect place for me. The main thing that most colleges are looking for are good grades. And people say that good grades are a lot more important than SAT scores and ACT scores. So if your SAT or ACT scores aren't that good, don't worry too much, but you can always take them again. And also definitely look into both SATs and ACTs, because I know I took the SATs, but I was told by a lot of people that the ACTs were easier. I just didn't really know about them. And if you have a college that requires subject tests, you can take the ACTs, and then you don't have to take the subject tests. You only have to take them if you have the SATs. So you have a lot less tests to worry about. The difference is that the ACTs are kind of more focused on each specific subject. I would say that the math is definitely harder. I did some of the problems. It's not necessarily more thinking, it's just more advanced math. And I think that a lot of the subjects are kind of the same way. And so in terms of that, I guess it's harder, but it's just easier to get a good score. And that one goes up to 30, the ACTs, and the SATs goes up to 2,400 in terms of scores. So the ACTs are also just a little bit less confusing in terms of that. I know on the West Coast, a lot of people are starting to take the ACTs, but on the East Coast, the SATs are still more popular. So I don't really know. Also, if you have extra time on tests, I don't, but some of my friends did, time and a half, I would definitely recommend taking the ACTs, because the time and a half for that is really nice compared to the SATs, and you'll have plenty of time to take your test. And my friends did a lot better on the ACTs than the SATs who did have extra time. Another thing that colleges look at are your extracurricular activities, and I did the Saturday Live classes. Like I said, I did a summer program at RISD where I majored in fashion design. That was a lot of fun. So if you happen to live near there or are thinking about going to RISD or like art or anything, I would recommend doing that program because it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit intense, so you know, you have to kind of commit to it. I also started a beading club in my school, and colleges love to see that you start clubs because it shows that you're a leader, but also that you're in clubs. So if you don't feel comfortable starting a club, I would definitely at least join one. Colleges also love to see community service, and what colleges don't necessarily like to see though is paying a bunch of money to go somewhere really far and kind of sort of do community service and sort of go to camp. Colleges aren't really that interested in that, so I would recommend just trying to find some community service close to you. Colleges also look at your essay. To write a good college essay, you really need to find out what's unique about you. And my college essay, I really think, helped me get into college. I talked about being an entrepreneur and how ever since I was little, I was kind of interested in it. I talked about when I was a little kid and I had lemonade stands, I would give out free McDonald's toys with my lemonade. I talked about how I offered to do a dog washing business. I had a gymnastics business for a while. I think I may have skipped that. I wrote a play, and I had people perform it, my sister and her friends, and then we put on kind of a show, and I wrote the music and everything. It was a musical. I wrote a book and I sold it at lemonade stands, Jenny Gold and the Silver Key. Also, when I was 5th grade, I created a little character, Chi-Chi, and I made a video game for it, and I made t-shirts and sold the t-shirts and just all different accessories and things like that. And then I made scarves. I knitted scarves and sold them at a local boutique. And then at the end of my essay, I talked about my hope to have a fashion business in the future, and it really tied together my past and all the things I've done that were kind of like my accomplishments with the whole reason I wanted to go to college, which was to start a fashion business. I'm trying to brag in this video. I'm sorry if you feel like that. I'm just trying to tell you what I did, and I'm not saying that everything I did was so great or anything. I mean, I didn't have perfect grades. I forgot to hand in my homework many times and different things like that, but the college essay was something that I feel like really helped me out, and I know that a lot of schools did like that. Another thing with college essays is don't make it a sob story. So if you've had something dramatic happen to you and that's what you want to write your essay about because it made you a stronger person, really focus on the fact that you're a stronger person and not all the bad things that happened to you. The thing that I disliked is that their art program just was not strong. University of Michigan has great academics. I took 3 academics there and I loved every single one of them. And all of my friends really liked school who were in the academic programs, just English major, math major, just regular kind of majors like that. But I know that no one really loved the art program that I spoke to. It's a really general art program, so they don't really give you a lot of direction, and a lot of the projects are really, really vague, and there isn't really a lot of motivation to do the work, to be honest. But the main thing that I really disliked about the art program, and I feel like a lot of people will agree with me on this, is that they kept telling you how you're going to drop out and never do art again and you're going to fail as an artist over and over and over again. And this is what they kept telling you, and it's really discouraging to hear that over and over again. And instead of learning in class, we would get lectures on this, and we would constantly be lectured on the fact that we weren't going to make it as artists, and I just found that to be kind of depressing and really the wrong outlook on art. And the other thing that I disliked, and this is really just a personal thing, is that I didn't like being so far away from stores and restaurants and all those types of things, really town. I was on North Campus and I had to take a bus. I personally like the option of being able to go home whenever I want. It depends how close you are with your family, if you want to see them. It is nice to have some independence also. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Have a great day, guys. Bye!